Tvadi Abhava. That the jiva is not the doer, he is also not instrumental in doing anything. So, Vastita Karma Bhavepi. So, in reality, he is free from karma. Dehe kritai karambhir katham bandha. So, why is that he becomes bound by the karma which is performed by the body? We are not the body. So, why is that we become bound by the activities performed by the body? Soul is not doing anything. Soul is not capable of doing anything. Soul is a poor guy, small fellow. Say that 1/10,000th part of the tip of a hair. What can it do? What do you expect from something which is like one particle of size of a dust particle? What is it going to do? And this big body, walking, talking, running, speaking, doing so many things. So why the soul is bound by the activities of the body? So it is because of thinking, meditation. That is being described here. Arthe karma rupe vastuni vastuto avidyamani. So he says that karma really does not exist because he is not doing kartritva vimanena vishyan dhyayate. But he meditates on the objects that I am the doer. He is looking, and by looking he thinks he is doing it. Tatra drishtanta, the example is Swapne khalu anarthasya api adhigam sabhiman vishya dhyan paripakadi. So just as in the dream, you have a lot of problems in the dream state. So you are having problem in the dream. Why? Because you are looking in them. Otherwise there is no problem. So let's read this commentary. It says, Nanu ayam samsara kim satyo mithya. He asks a question, that is this material world real or false? So, adya anirmoksha, if it is real, then you will never get out of it. And what can you do with the real thing? It will always be there. Real means which cannot go anywhere. Dvitiya sadhana vayartham. And if it is false, then why are you doing your sadhana? It is useless. It is false. Why work hard to get out of something which does not exist? Don't bother about it. So, when these two doubts are raised, then he answers arthati. Yadapi atra samsare samsarana rupa artho nasti. Says that the samsara is real. I mean, the world is there. You cannot deny that the world does not exist. But your samsaran, that you are bound to the samsara, or you are in the cycle of birth and death, this is not real. You are not taking birth, you are not dying. And yet, it seems like that. Dev triyam manushyo nisu dehe eva utpaddate dehe cha atmano na kopi sambandha. Says whether you become a demigod, or you become a human being, or you become a mosquito, it is only the body which is taking the birth, not you. You don't take birth. And you don't have any relationship with the body. Why is that? Asangatvad atmanah sanyogo nasti. There are various types of relation we can have with another object. If there are two objects, then these two objects can have a relationship, and there are different type of relations. So one type of relation is called contact. Like I am putting my hand here on the seat, so my hand is contacting it. So my hand and this object here, they have a relation of contact, right? So he says that soul is not having contact with the body. You are sitting on the chair, you are contacting the chair. This is the relationship of contact. So asango hi ayam purushaha. In the Shruti, in the Veda, it is said that Purusha is without any contact. Then, what about the relationship of inherence? There is another relationship which is not a relationship of contact. Relationship of contact is temporary. My hand is here, I take it away. And the contact is not there, the relationship is broken. I can again put it back. There is another relation that is a permanent relationship, and that is called relationship of samvaya or inherence. That something inherently exists in that. So you have sugar, and in sugar there is sweetness. Sugar is the object, sweetness is the quality. So the sweetness exists in the sugar inherently. It's not that it is contacting it. It's not that sweetness is having a contact with the sugar. If it was a relationship of contact, you could take out the sweetness. But because it is a relationship of inherence, you cannot take out sweetness from the sugar and leave the sugar without sweetness. Here is sugar, here is sweetness. And they are together. They cannot be separated. The relationship of samvaya and inherence cannot, the two objects which have that relationship can never be separated unless you destroy that object. So this is also not there because we know that soul leaves the body. Right? If it was relationship of inherence, then it will never leave the body. Then there is another relationship called Swarupa Sambandha, a relationship of selfness. And it is its very Swarupa. So that is also not there. Body is not the Swarupa of the soul. Soul is separate, body is separate. Ubhyor ekatra nirupana bhavat. Because two cannot be in one place. Swarup Sambandh means that the object has relationship with itself. You have table, then the table has its relationship with itself. It's called Swarup Sambandh. It's very Swarup, that is its nature. So body is not the Swarup or the soul. Then what is the relationship? He says adhyasika. That one thing is identifying with the other, that is the only relationship. It's like you dream, and in the dream you are thinking that you have become the Prime Minister of India. So you have not become, you are lying in your bed in your room, but you think. And then when you think like this, then all the problems may come to you, or good things may come to you as a Prime Minister. But you are different from that, you are lying on your bed. But in the dream you think like this. So you have assumed something which you are not. So the same, the soul is assuming something which is not. It's just a matter of consciousness. not real. So that has to be removed. So he says that satu mohat iti alika, therefore it is not real. Ata samsaro alik bhuta eva tathapi namayati. So therefore this sansar, this bondage is also not real. But it says still it does not go away. So yohi mithya bhuta sambhavate sa katham nivartate. Something which is not real and still troubling you, how can it go away? If it was real, you could do something about it. If it is not real and still it is troubling you, then no one can do anything. Isn't it? If you are sleeping, we can wake you up. But if you are awake and you are pretending to sleep, how can we wake you up? Because your sleeping is not real. It's only pretense. If you are actually sleeping, then some effort could be made. But if you don't want to get up and you pretend to sleep, then how can we wake you up? Nobody can wake up. Because it's you who are pretending. So it is we who are meditating, dhyayato vishyan. So what can be done about that? If the problem was there from outside, you could remove it. But it is coming from you. So what is the cause for this? Is a dhyayato. Asya sansarasya ye vishayatan bhogyattvena dhyayata. That we are meditating on the sense objects as objects of our enjoyment. That's all we do. That this will give me enjoyment, this will give me pleasure, this will give me happiness. Let me eat the cake, although my stomach is full, but I will enjoy this. Then after you have eaten, then you have lost control over it. It has gone into your stomach, now the trouble is there. So then you go on troubling with it. So we created the problem. Right? Once you eat, then you have no control over it. Then you don't know what it will do in your stomach. Then you take some digestive churna or some ginger tea, or do this, do that. It may work, it may not work. So dhyayato vishyan, we meditate. Krishna also says this in Bhagavad Gita, that sangaste sukh jayate. Dhyayato vishyanasya sangaste sukh. Sangat sanjayate krodha. Kamat krodha vijayate. So because of meditation, dhyayato vishyan pumsa sangaste sukh jayate. And why we meditate? Because we think that this will give me pleasure. Mind is always looking for pleasure. Right? Vidya asmita raga dveta vinayasa panchaklesha. 5 types of pleasures. So one of them is raga, attachment. And what is raga? Sukha anushayi raga. That you enjoy something, then it leaves an impression in your heart. And that impression gives you desire to repeat that experience. So sometimes the experience may not be very pleasurable, but you imagine it. You dream. And when you imagine, then there is no limit. Because when you try to experience, then that is very limited. Because our senses are limited. objects are also limited. You cannot eat a lot. Your stomach is limited, your mouth is limited. Food is also available in limited quantity. So everything is limited. But if you have to imagine something, then there is no limit. If you are dreaming of eating cake, you can go on eating. But it's not going in your stomach. So same way what will happen is that you have some little enjoyment, or if you may have heard of someone else talking that this thing gives enjoyment, then you meditate on that. And that meditation goes on again and again, again and again. And you really think that you are going to derive this much pleasure. When actually the action is done, pleasure is not like that. So imagination is without limits. And then that becomes attachment, raga. So mind is always guided by this raga. As Krishna says that even one of the senses can make you fall down, as wind takes away the boat. So, Vishaya Bhog Vasanayam Satyam Avidyamano Api Sansaro Bharati. Because of this desire to enjoy, we become bound, although there is no reality. Just as you watch the movie, and then when you are watching movie, you become attached to some actor, and you become emotional, although there is no reality there. It's all imagination. There is nobody in the screen. There is some light which is being thrown there on the screen. So the real object is not there, but you become very much attached. When you go on the computer and watch some photos, it's only some dots here. You imagine, and then you become attached. So now who can help you? If something was there, you could remove, but there is nothing there, you are imagining. So therefore it says that although it does not exist, but it binds you. Astopi badakatva drishtanta. He says, is there any example you can give me that how something which does not really exist can bind me? He said, yes. That example everybody knows, everybody experiences this. Say yatha swapne anarthara. Swapnam tu maiketi siddhanta. Swapna is a creation of Maya, dream. Yadapi tatra tadanam mithya bhutam. He says somebody is beating you in the dream. So the beating is not real, but you are suffering. Tathapi jagaranat purum nanavati. Unless you wake up, you will keep on getting the slaps or the kicks. No one can stop it, because it's not real. So you have to wake up, that is only. And people don't want that. People are always asking this question that if God is merciful, then why people are suffering in this world? Right? Because God knows that this suffering is not real. It is a dream. And the only way you can stop is you wake up from this dream and you will say that, no, you please come inside my dream and remove my suffering. I am sleeping and I am suffering in my dream. Somebody wants to help me. So he says, wake up. So he says, no, I don't want to wake up. I want my dream to continue. You come inside my dream and help me. So that guy says, you are crazy, I cannot help you. Hell with you. Continue your dream. So like that we are suffering in the material world and we are saying why God is not helping. So God says that yes, I help, I come and I give knowledge so that you can wake up. But if you don't want to wake up, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to enter into your dream and make your dream nice. So that is not my business. So you can blame God, but there is no point. So the solution therefore is that you have to wake up. There is no other solution. So we have to therefore make an effort to get out of this situation. We have to make an effort to wake up. And if we don't make an effort to wake up, then nobody else is going to help us. So God helps those who help themselves. Right? Who said that?
Okay. I don't know, I can't remember right now.
So that's the solution. Artha hiya vidyamaneti sansriti nanavatata dhyayato vishyanasya swapnam viparam. So we have to meditate on Krishna, Satyam Param Dhimahi, and give up our meditation on the sense objects. That's the only solution. There is no other solution. There is any question?
Oh, probably everything living entities want to enjoy.
Any?
And I said most living entities they want to enjoy, so that need or desire to enjoy is the reason for the pain and
Yes.
suffering. And then also everything can start with a thought, and the thought could be a fantasy or an illusion or whatever, and then you want to enjoy that, and then even if you get what you think you want, it may turn out that it's not really what you need or think you need or want. So
Yeah,
you
most
still
of the
suffer.
time you don't get what you want.
Right.
Then you try to again endeavor
Yeah.
to change the situation or change your goals or your strategy how to get it. So you continue. So it is a chase, like they give the example that there's a deer in the desert and he's seeing the water in the mirage. He's thirsty, he runs for this, he thinks water is there, he goes closer, it goes little away. And thus he keeps on chasing the mirage. Finally he dies out of thirst. So like that we keep on chasing our desires. That if this desire is fulfilled, then I will be happy. But when that desire is fulfilled, if we are fortunate, but many times we are not fortunate, then another desire comes. And then we think that I'll be happy. And then we forget that earlier we thought that if this happens, I'll be happy. When we did not have the house, then we are so much thinking, if I have a house, I will be happy. And when we have a house, we forget that actually I was thinking when house is there, I'll be happy. Then we even forget that we have a house. House becomes a normal thing. And I'm thinking I should have a car now. When the car is there, then you have a car, then something else. So it goes on like this one after another. So chasing the chimera. Any other question?
So, I just didn't got yesterday, which the lady was asking his relation how the Paramatma mediate the action with the material world.
How the Paramatma?
Is a mediator action with the material world. And I didn't get it clear. There's some example of the dog and the block card, and it's like Maya following Supercell, and I didn't got it clear. You know, if you could be so kind and maybe repeat it for me a little more plainly.
That what I was explaining is that many times people think that God is biased, especially when we read the stories in the scriptures, because it looks like that he is helping Indra, but he is not helping the demons. So, like he came as Vaman Dev, right? Because Indra's kingdom was taken away by Bali Maharaj. So he went and he begged from Bali 3 steps of land, and then he tricked him and took away the whole universe and gave Indra's kingdom to Indra and put Bali down in Sutalok. So it looks like he's favoring one party and not favoring the other party. All the gods should be equal to all. As far as he is concerned, both are his children, good or bad. So then it is explained that he is actually neither favoring somebody nor is against anyone. And all he is doing is that he acts only for the pleasure of his devotees. And because devotion is his own energy, bhakti is internal potency. So really speaking, he is playing with his own energy. And because he is playing with his own energy, then where is the question of biasness? So the energy when he is favoring somebody, then he is favoring because they are devoted to him. That means he is actually favoring his own energy, not somebody who is part of this material world. So for that reason he also creates the universe. Why he creates universe then? So he says that because there were devotees in the previous cycle who were practicing bhakti and they still have not attained perfection. So when dissolution happened, then these devotees also merged into the body of Mahavishnu. So God creates bodies for them so that they can continue their sadhana. So he is still doing only for the devotees, and because others are also there, then they also come out. So when he comes here in the material world, then it appears as if he is also under the law of karma. He takes birth, he grows, he sings, he is angry, he fights, he eats, and all these things. So Jiva Goswami explains that actually he is not influenced by any of these things, but when he is here, it appears as if he is part of Maya, although he is still independent and playing with his own energy, but Maya seems to be going along with Lord's pastime so that they appear as if they are part of Maya. So just as I gave the example, the dog is walking under the bullock cart, and suppose you don't see the bulls. Suppose bulls are covered by some cardboard which is touching the ground, you don't see the bulls walking. Or imagine that there is a car and there is a dog under the car and the car is moving, and suppose you do not know that there is an engine in the car which makes the car move. So you may think that this dog is carrying the car. So here actually dog is keeping pace with the movement of the car which is moving by the engine. And we who do not have the knowledge that it is the car's engine which is making the car move, think that dog is moving the car. So in the same way, when Krishna is coming and performing his activities, like pastimes, they appear as if he is like an ordinary person. Avajananti mam mudha manasuntam asutam. That foolish people, they disregard me when I come here in human form. Because Maya is keeping pace with his activities, means there is also sun setting sun rising, moon, all these things are happening when Krishna is also there. And he is also having this sunlight, moonlight, he is also walking in that. These are all manifestations of Maya. So it looks like that he is also like other people, but actually he is situated in his own abode. Vrindavanam paritajya padamekam navasti. He never goes out of Vrindavan. He comes with his own paraphernalia, with his own associates, with his own abode. But that we do not see. So only the highly elevated soul realize this fact that Krishna is, although he seems to be walking on this earth, he is actually walking in his own ground. So when he is walking on his own ground, then this earth is also there and they both are together. So it looks like as if he is walking on this earth. And we who do not have this knowledge, we think that he is walking on this earth. Not knowing that it is the car engine which is making the car move, not the dog. So we mistake that. So then it appears now.
Very nice idea to see the word as a facility for devotees to complete their
Yes.
sadhana.
So when you see from God's point of view, he is only dealing with devotees and not with the external world. Even when he is dealing with demons, they are either his devotees like Jain Vijay, or he gives them power to act like that. Otherwise Sisupal or all these people have no power to go against him. So that we do not see. So it looks like that they are demons opposing him. So he is only dealing with his devotees basically. Like you do play, suppose you have a drama company, then you go to some city and you stage a play there, and you go with your own people. And then there is an audience there. But there are sometimes plays where they also invite audience to participate on the stage. So then it looks like that you are also part of the audience, but actually you have your own troupe, you are come with them, you are only dealing with them. So to make it look more natural, you can do a drama in such a way that you include the crowd also on the stage. But people will think that you are part of this whole crowd, and there is no distinction between you and the crowd, but you yourself know that you are doing drama only with your own people who are trained, you know them, and there are other people have been just, so like that other people are keeping pace with your drama, although you are actually separate from that. So like that Maya is working, and then Lord comes and it appears as if he is also part of this Maya, but he is in his own realm and he is performing his own pastimes. So that's why he is called Leela, he is doing his own Leela. And he is not concerned with this biasness.
No, I understand.
So therefore Jiva Goswami has also made an analysis that because God is transcendental, so he has never suffered material miseries. He is unable to suffer material misery because he has spiritual body. And therefore he cannot be compassionate on people who are suffering materially. Because to be compassionate you have to empathize. You have to feel the pain of the other person. And that is only possible if you have felt a pain like that. And if you have never felt, then how can you feel compassionate? Therefore he doesn't feel compassionate. He is only dealing with his devotees.
But some people would argue such a way that God is God, he knows all, and so he also knows what pain is like.
That is not true.
You know.
You can say like that, but fact is different. Just because God is God does not mean that he knows your pain. He knows what is pain, but he does not feel it.
He doesn't feel it.
So when you say that God is compassionate, that is compassion
Only
on
on his
another
devotees.
level. Sorry?
Only on his devotees.
Yeah, only on his devotees. What type of devotees? His real devotees who are with him?
No, devotees here also. It's only that's why he says Paritrana Sadhunam. So one is that I come here to protect sadhus. Vinasa cha duskritam, to destroy duskritam. So that is his purpose.
His compassion manifested on another level, not because we don't have money or because we don't have
That's
food.
already said
Yeah.
that he's not bothered if you have money or you don't have money. This is the same thing that come in my dream and help me. When he is compassionate on his devotees, by that the compassion also comes to others, like he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, so we also got that way his compassion comes. He deals only with devotees, that is the important thing to remember. He does not deal with non-devotees. So there is no question of he being angry at non-devotees or being compassionate at non-devotees. He is neutral, he is equal. He has given you law of karma, do your karma, get your result. Simple. Don't bother me. So a different type of God than what we think. Alright. Yes.
One more question. When you say we have to wake up, what is that we? Is this the jiva or not the ahankara?
Yeah, we have to make up means?
I mean, what is wake up?
Oh, wake up.
When you say I or you have to wake
Yes,
up,
jiva.
what is the jiva?
Yes. Means you have to become
Because
aware.
some
of yourself.
consciousness has to be there, otherwise it is
Yes.
not even possible.
Yes, consciousness. Alright, thank you. Hare Krishna.
So that was Satyanarayana.
Stop it to switch it out. The camera. Do you know how to switch this?